Welcome back to another episode of the DIM show. Keeping it raw and dirty, baby, just the way you like it. All right, we got some. We got a special guest today. We're going to talk about some significant games of last week. Can't hit up all the games. We're running short in time. We're going to try to keep it in one video. All right, so let's hit up some of these significant games.
That'll work.
We had the Pariah Pitbulls, and the Jacksonville Stunners. Now, our prediction was the Pariah Pitbulls were going to lose by 1. Now, they proved us wrong. They actually won by 1.
And you know what? That prediction, that's the first prediction we lost this season. It was a little controversy with that prediction from the actual Pariah Pitbulls coach. He was like, you know, you guys predict the whole season all wrong all year long, and you haven't made any right predictions. But if you've watched our shows, our predictions have always been right every single time, except for that one game.
Every single time. And like Tom would say, this is redonkulous. I mean, you cannot tell us we're doing a good job, bringing it to you raw and dirty, just the way you like it. You know, but Jacksonville Stunners, you know, they got stunned. I mean, the Pariah Pitbulls went out there 103 points. They won by 1. And you know, and
they put it on them. You know, they took them from behind and they did the booty spank. Here you go, here you go. You know, and they really did that to him. And I mean, it's like they treated him like a little stepbrother.
Yeah,
you know?
it happens. You know, and then you had the broom dog coming back from behind to catch the dog catchers. You know, and I really thought the dog catcher was going to catch a dog last week.
And I really did. And we talked about the ball suit. I thought his balls were marinated enough, good enough for him to step it up, and maybe he took a sip of his own ball suit. He had the points there, and what ended up happening now? It ended up being a tie.
Yeah, but you know that's a fundamental problem. You know, you cannot have your own ball suit. You have to have somebody else's ball suit.
Exactly.
And that's why it ended up in a tie. It was 100-100. Congratulations to the Broom Dogs coming back from behind and tying that game. That's like what number 3 tie in the season?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what?
I'd
rather lose by 1. That's me personally. And say, hey, I lost instead of I tied. That's not really going to help you out later on in the rest of the season.
And it kind of goes back to our prediction too. We did predict dog catchers to win that one. He tied it up, so I guess we were wrong on that one too.
And you know, maybe everybody has their ups and their downs, just like the dog catchers have their ups and downs. And maybe, you know, we have some ball suit, Bruno suit, fucking all kinds of suit.
Yeah, and you know, and then you have the Mean Machine. I mean, stunning, fearsome force, 80-54.
He cranked that thing like a lawnmower, and he was like, fearsome force, here I come, here I come, here I come.
Cut it up. You know, and the New York Giants score a big goose egg. That's a big surprise.
And you know, they're the last year Super Bowl champions, New York Giants defense, and they failed against the Cleveland Browns. And that was a Monday night game, and like I've said all season now, anything can happen on Monday night. And what happened? Mean Machine came up with a win, a big fat 80 points to 54. It's an incredible win for
I mean, it is. And do me a favor, why don't you get the our special guest on the line?
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to keep on talking about this. Mean Machine, 80 points. Fearsome Force, 54. The Giants defense had a big goose egg, 0 points. And you have Derek Anderson stepping it up with 26 points. I mean, really wasn't expecting it. I expected Derek Anderson to score, you know, slightly a little bit more than the Giants defense, giving the edge to Mean Machine. Got to remember it was 54-54 going into that game. But
hey, Coach Marcel, Coach Bancourt,
baby.
Oh, how you doing? We got you on the DIM show. I'm gonna go ahead and put the mic on, and we're gonna ask you some questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take this off because we're about to get hot and dirty. Hey, how you doing, Marcel Betancourt? Doing good?
Sure.
Hey, we got a question. You know, there's a problem that went on last week. I mean, it seems that we got hacked. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, we had an imposter on the show, and it wasn't you, and we want to apologize to you for that.
We're trying to tell you we're sorry for having a fake Betancourt come in on the show, and we found out after the show that it wasn't you. How do you feel about that today, Mr. Bancourt?
Oh, I was hurt, and I didn't like that at all. And whenever he talked about my team, I got a little bit hurt about it. So I really would like to get to the bottom of this, and whatever he answered, it wasn't correct at all.
Yeah, and now, I could totally agree with you on that.
Yes.
But I do have a question here. I mean, there's been some controversy with your name. I mean, you started off with Got Moss Punk. And I mean, there's 4 Mosses in the league. There's 3 wide receivers, and you don't have any of them. And you don't have even, there's a defensive player, and you don't have him either. I mean, and how do you feel about the names that have been given you? Like, Got Hack Punk, or Hackman Jones, or don't know how to play fantasy football
Punk.
You know, how do you feel about those names?
How do you feel about the names been given to you?
The name was given because or what people say when a receiver catches the ball over a defensive back, you got Moss.
Is he speaking
And,
English?
Punk was just, when you start the field, you got Moss Punk. That's why it basically the name came about. You know, because of the player having not having the player, it was just the consider the football field.
All right,
okay.
All right. And then we want to thank you for being on DIM show, and I will get back with you.
I got one more question, Mr. Coach Bancourt. How do you feel about the DIM radio show? How do you feel about it?
I think it's an excellent show. After a while, I gotta like go off on something else because I get a little bit too long. But it's an excellent.
And we're going to continue.
We just had to continue.
We cannot rumble and stumble.
No, there was rumbling and stumbling with the words on that part.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and hit them up with some standings.
All right, this week's standings. This is hot off the press. The Central Division, Jacksonville Stunners are 4-2. Pure Romance is 3-2. Mean Machine 2-3. Dog Catchers is 1-4. Bottom of the map. East Division, Perrine Pitbulls 5-1. Coming on up.
They are.
Bone Crushers 3-3. Lady Scorpions 3-3. Got Muss Punk.
Hackman Jones.
Don't know how to play fantasy football.
Punk.
1-5. West Division, New York Suns 4-2. The Broom Dogs 3-2. Fearsome Force 3-3, and Kendall Killer Cats 2-4.
By far, that last division got to be the worst, but we're going to keep it going. We're going to hit up some of this week, and we're going to start off the Jacksonville Stunners over the Lady Scorpios by 35 points.
And that's going to be a real significant game for the Bone Crushers, Perrine Pitbulls, once the Jacksonville Stunners beat the Lady Scorpions.
And I really do think the Jacksonville Stunners is going to beat the Lady Scorpios. And it's going to be pretty good. I think the Bone Crushers are actually going to win their game and actually go over the top because they're tied right now.
Lady Scorpions really hasn't been spanked.
No.
Like a bad girl.
Yeah.
She needs to get spanked like a bad girl this week. And I think the Jacksonville Stunners are going to produce a spanking and, probably make her bum a little red. And she's going to go home crying to her little husband, Hater of the Week.
Oh, shit. Hey, you might lose that title today. And then, speaking of the Hater of the Week, we got the Dog Catchers up by 3 over the New York Suns.
Oh, well, that's going to be a really rough game for the Dog Catchers.
I mean,
it's going to be really rough for the Dog Catchers because New York Suns has had potential the whole season and beat some significant teams.
I think so.
And my pick of the week is New York Suns.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, any team that can't beat the Broom Dogs and just ties with them, I mean, I got to say, you're not going to beat the New York Suns. No. I mean, this is a hell of a team. They're doing their thing. They're keeping it dirty and doing it raw. All right, here we go. We got Pure Romance and Got Muss Punk. Got Muss Punk actually up 7 points.
No way. Coach Betancourt, you must have made some moves off the wire. We had you on the phone. You're probably taking our advice. You're probably doing it dirty.
No, it's very important here. I mean, Pure Romance can't lose another game. I mean, God Must Punk, if you get beat by, Perrine Pitbulls got beat, but I mean, they had an off week, they had some injuries and stuff like that. There is really no excuse, Pure Romance.
And that game that Perrine Pitbulls lost to God Must Punk, it was just a hellified week for Perrine Pitbulls. There was a lot of injuries, like you said, Al. And things happen in this league that work for you one week, and things happen that don't work for you the next week. So, that was a significant loss for Perrine Pitbulls.
It was. And we'll talk about the Bone Crushers. They're up 29 points over Fearsome Force.
Oh, wow.
What do you think about that one?
Well, Fearsome Force, he had a great team at the beginning of the year, had some great picks, let some people go, made some transaction off the wire, had some injuries. Fearsome Force is going to lose this game.
And I think Fearsome Force needs to drink some milk, take some vitamins. I mean, the Bone Crushers are coming to crush your bones,
Yeah.
And they're not going to be playing around.
And let go of the wacky tobacco for a little while, Maybe let go of some of the drinking. Get on the wire, pick some good players up, and maybe produce some points.
That's a very good point.
You are letting your team lose every week to Nobody's fearsome force, and you need to step it up. Maybe you need to get some ball juice from Tom,
from dog catchers,
or from the dog catchers, or maybe get some soap action from the Broom Dogs on your system, and maybe come up with some points, because we haven't hit you up, fearsome force, a little too much.